Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, one and all of people out in the internet land, as Mr. Drew spins round on his chair.
I can't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that.
Actually, that would be the best way round, actually, if you were facing that way.
What would? Oh, the other way. It probably would be.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Studio Rats Live Q&A number 122. My name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
You are all very welcome. As ever, we will get to questions. We will get to the latest gear, news, goodies, and stuff like that. There'll probably even be a studio build update and all that sort of stuff. But as has become tradition, Mr. Drew, what have you been up to?
So I've got another guitar. I've got another new guitar, shall I show that off? I won't show that off now. I won't show it now because we've only got limited eyes. I just need to write.
At this point, I will say it's quality, not quantity, but I know what you mean.
Absolutely. Yes. So new guitar. What else? I've got a new tune.
Mm-hmm.
The new guitar has actually inspired a new tune.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking, is it an instrumental? Is it?
Ooh.
And I don't mean like a Polyphia instrumental. But yeah, we were just talking about that.
Is it Polyphia or is it Polyphia?
Oh, that's really good. I think it's Polyphia, but from now on I'm going to call it Polythea.
Polyphia.
I love that. Yes. So yeah, I've written a tune and I've done it all. The initial thought was it's going to be like a vocal. I was going to get Jack Rubiducci, and I still think we should get Jack Rubiducci on it. But I've done it and I've written a melody for it, and it's like a guitar solo thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was inspired from going to see that Ariel Posen gig the other day, the sort of the Americana type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was quite inspired by that. So I've done that. So maybe we can get some drums on that in
definitely
distant future.
Yeah.
What else I did? Because that came out on Thursday. I did the Wazacraft DS1 Wazacraft pedal, which came out last Thursday. What else?
I like the videos where you record to a track.
Yes, I like the videos where I record to a track as well. But there's no way that I can do the amount of video content.
I know, but I think for a quote unquote special one or a big release or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Funky Bass UK Polyfiller. Awesome. Like that.
Sorry, that's really right.
That's good. Yeah, and I did the video on the Strat, on the 57 Strat.
Yes.
But we've got some more sort of stuff to talk about that.
Yes.
A little bit later on. What about yourself? What have you been up to?
Saturday was part 2 of my recording with the Bocking Concert Brass.
Right.
The brass band at the church around the corner, which went well, considering I had to try and match up all the mic positions and everything. It went well. I think the mix is going to be a challenge, but more not because of the music, more because of fixing some issues and stuff that I believe are going to be unfixable.
Yeah.
Then the rest of this week, to be honest, has been studio build.
Has it?
So framing was finished last week, and this week has been very much about getting walls and ceilings and things up. I changed a few things sort of last minute about materials and what we were putting where, etc., to try and give kind of live end, dead end thing.
Yeah.
But the main the wall, that should we call them the vertical walls, went out very quickly. The ceiling has been a nightmare because obviously the ceiling is at that angle, and then there are walls at curvatures and stuff, which has been a challenge for my 2 chippies. But they have risen to it, and the job is good. It's just not the same as just putting up 8x4 sheets. And then obviously on top of that, we've had to put another sheet with the mass load of vinyl, which has made one 8x4 sheet weigh about 70 kilograms.
Do you know? And I'm sure this is amazing stuff.
What has really slowed us down is that each 8x4 sheet has to be screwed at 100mm centers, meaning there's about 2,000 screws in the ceiling. Everyone else, mate, is with me. Everyone else is with me.
It's going to go around there. It's going to take people around and go, you know, it's 2,000
screws in the ceiling. So the rest of the walls, we've got 2 days to finish the walls. Next week, the plasterers are in, which will obviously give it a real final finish.
Yeah.
Then it's floor, as in the floor finish,
the
nice, lovely chocolatey floor I've bought. And then we're not far off moving in.
See, that's the exciting bit. For me, that's the exciting bit.
Yeah. So I promised a video. There will be a video to get us to pre-plastering. That will be the end of this week. I think I'll get that done. Okay. And it's going to cover a lot of ground. But it's been a while since the last update. But yeah, it's been a good week. The huge bills finally started to finish, which is really good. But yeah, it's all getting the right direction. But I've been, today's pose has been this with screws in this hand and an electric screwdriver in this hand, and it's been like it's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It'll be worth it when we get there. So let's dive into some comments thus far from you, the beautiful people of the internet.
I feel bad now taking the piss out of your 2,000 screws in the ceiling.
Yeah. You wait till everyone else is telling me I'm doing it the right way.
I want to ask, does anyone care? Does anyone in the comments care how many screws James has got in his ceiling? There we go. Let's ask.
See, K-Michael P's already put another video, please, James. So clearly the masses care. Thank you.
No, I care. I do care. I want it to be done. And then the video when it's all done, I'm well excited about that. I'll be so excited. Anyway, let's move on. Otherwise, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Dave McQuillan says, "Evening all. Sorry, I can't make it tonight at a bloody family wedding
on a Wednesday.
Scotland, mate. That's what's going on with that.
Of course it is. Yeah,
they love it." Chris Williams. Good evening, Chris. Brent Chadwick says, "Evening, gents. Evening, Brent. I like his. I like. Go back.
Right.
Brent's. What'd you call
BC.
that? BC. I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool, isn't it? Nicely done. Daniel's in the house. He says, "Good evening, gentlemen. It's been a beautiful week here in North Carolina." Oh, nice one. It's been nice. Apart from today, it's been really nice here, hasn't it? So far. It's been like summer.
Monday morning was horrible. I took the Nashville Telly.
Oh yeah.
And the Marshall Head and the Cornford to Steve Barrett at Guitar Lodge to sort out those problems, and it hissed it down, quite frankly.
Yeah.
All the way there, all the way back was horrible. But the rest of the week's been very kind to us getting plasterboard in and out of the room. So yeah, but it did start to rain here this evening, which has not been very pleasant.
Oh. Howdy y'all from K Michael P. Howdy K Michael P. Evening says Pet. Evening Pet.
There's a lot of backslapping going on there, which is good.
Evening all from Shep. Evening Shep. Funky Bass UK says Polyfiller, which I loved.
Very funny, yeah.
That's really good. See, I can't get that in my head now. I can't believe I didn't. I cannot believe that I did not think of that one. I'm upset with myself. Mike, please.
Yes.
I don't know. Judd Lofted. Oh, let me see if I could quick look at Judd's.
Oh, that's a good picture.
I like that picture. What's that? An SG and Les Pauly. Nice. Judd says, "Hey James and Paul, have you tried the Duelist pedal? If so, what do you think? You guys are the best." Cheers, Judd. So the Duelist pedal, is basically a blues breaker on one side
Yeah.
and a tube screamer on
Yeah.
the other side. I've never tried one. I've never tried one.
I read this, and as a drummer, read it as the Duelist, which is a bass drum pedal.
Oh yeah, there is a bass drum pedal called a Duelist. Yes.
Yeah, and it's if you press it in a certain mode, it will be normal bass drum pedal. But if in a certain mode, if you press it, it's got two hammers, and one push triggers both beaters. So you can go digga on one foot.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I bet you've got one of them. You must have one.
I've tried it, and it's blooming hard to play.
Is it?
Very hard to play and get rhythmic. But I did wonder if Judd was referring to the guitar one or the drum one. But
I imagine down to Judd's picture that he means
Yeah.
the guitar one. No, I've never tried one. I really would like to try one. Do you know what? The tone I got today that I was really happy with was I decided to record this new tune with the Matchless plugged into the Grossman.
Yeah.
But going through as you can see on top of the Grossman, I've got the Boss Tube Amp Expander because me and Greg were playing around last week, and we both preferred the sound of the Tube Amp Expander than the Aux. So I've got the Matchless going into the Tube Amp Expander, so the Matchless is driving really hard.
Yeah. And
then I've got a little bit. I mean, it's loud. It's loud,
right.
But it's not like the Matchless like cranked up.
Yeah.
Going into the Grossman, which keeps it really quiet but drives the amp in a really nice way. And then because I find with the Grossman, I don't know if you find this, James, because you've got one as well, but if you have too much going into it, I think that's when the problems occur because there's too much bouncing around in there. It's almost like
you can give it some beans, but not too many beans.
Yeah. So I've worked out that is the best combination. So match this into the Grossman. Sounds great, really, really good. And today I used a combination. This is getting to my point about the Duelist pedal. I used a Thorpe Peacekeeper, which is a clon style pedal, into a Ryra clone. So two clones, both doing different things, and the tone was, for me, I was so pleased with it.
Wow!
Using the new guitar as well, but I don't think the new guitar, it would have worked with any guitar.
Right, cool, nice.
Forget Polyphia. Check out Nemophilia. Japanese band. Oh my god, I can imagine because don't you think Polyphia? To me, the music sounds quite Asian, like Japanese, because I've dealt with a lot of Japanese and Korean music in the past, and to me, it has similar sort of vibes of that.
Is it just me, or am I clearly getting really old, where I just want something in 4/4 in a Western tuning with a nice melody?
No. I mean, I completely agree with you, but like you can't deny their
musical virtuosity is second to none.
Yeah,
but it ain't for me.
No, I don't want to listen. I do not want to listen to that at all.
I think there was a time when I would have done.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, you'd.
I think at 45, I'm past that.
Yeah.
Some would say I've been past it for a while, but
yeah. Sorry, where were we? Yeah. So going back to the double drink. The
Nemophilia.
No. Oh yeah. Sorry. So yes, I'd love to try out the Duelist, and at some point I will get one. I will definitely get one.
Cool.
Aaron says, "I'm an Englishman in New York." He sure is.
Oh, he's an alien. He's a legal alien.
Aaron, let us know how your Noel Gallagher 355's coming on, because I've seen a few for sale. That people are. What do you call it when you buy something and then you flip it for more money?
Buyer's remorse?
No. You buy it to sell it.
You buy it to sell it. Oh, okay.
What's that called? That's called anyway. Scalping.
Yeah.
Jonathan's in the house. He says, "Always a great evening when you two guys are live. I love your latest Strat, Paul. Your playing is incredible. Oh, thank you, mate. That's very nice of you. Most kind. Island Sound says, hi, Paul. Since you have a fondness for Fender Strats, I'm wondering what you think of Squire guitars, particularly the Classic Vibe or the 40th anniversary series. Did we try out some Squires when we went to...
We did. With the Classic Vibes, Telly was really good.
Yeah.
And the only thing we didn't like about it was the neck was high gloss. If you'd taken some wire wool to that, that would have been an amazing guitar for not that much go. And the 40th anniversary Squire,
I thought it was really good. Yeah. I think the Squire stuff's really good. The only thing you're going to get with the Squire guitar, and this isn't always the case, you're probably going to get it. It's going to be heavier than a normal. Well, I'm not saying it's going to be heavier than it'd probably be the same sort of weight as the Mexican one. For me, the Mexican guitars are always heavier. And some of the cheaper USA ones are heavier. So you're not going to get the weight relief, or not the weight relief. You're not going to get a light piece of wood, unfortunately, or unlikely to get one. But I think they're great. I don't know too much about the electronics and stuff. I think probably at some point you're probably going to want to change the electronics. But at some point down the road.
Yeah, not in a hurry. The Squire stuff's great. If you can get over the Squire badge, they're great guitars.
Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't ever. I've got a friend that we went out to Guitar and we bought his son a Classic Vibe Telly, and it's a great guitar. It's a really good guitar. Ken, I can't pronounce that. Sloke. Thanks, James. Hi, Ken. That's Ken's new to the show. Sorry, Ken. I won't get that wrong next time. He says, "Hi, Paul. Just wanted to know that after watching your videos, I purchased the BB preamp, Double Dreamer, and Walrus Fuzz. Love these pedals. Oh, nice one, Ken. It'd be really great if you could." I mean, I know it's a hassle, but it would really help the channel if you could let Exotic, what we're looking at, Walrus and Jam, let them know that you bought them because of the videos. But that's brilliant. Cheers, Ken. I really hope you get loads out of those pedals. I think they're awesome. The Walrus Fuzz all of those pedals are brilliant, but the Walrus Fuzz I pulled out today and it was fantastic.
Even if you just let their Facebook pages know or their LinkedIn pages or whatever, that would really help us out.
It really does. Yeah, it really does. Thanks, Ken. But I'm really glad you got something out of them. Chemical P, another video, please, James. Well, there you go. He says, yep. Is that yep to 2,000 screws?
Yep. That is.
Brent says, lol. Thank you. I guess. TY, thank you. I guess that means that. I'm not down with the kids. Jod says, definitely more build videos. I love that stuff. Fantastic. So maybe I'm wrong. I really liked the last video. I really liked it. Brilliant.
What's really funny is I'd love to do the Marshall video again.
No, I know what we're doing with that.
Only for the last 2 minutes where I go outside and go, nothing. Because there's so much mass gone in between those walls and the ceiling now.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. So what we're going to do, I'm going to bring over my match list.
Yep.
And we can compare, see what's louder.
30 watt or 100 watt.
35 watts or 100 watt. And I know it's ridiculous to say it, but I'd personally, I think there'll be minimal.
I think there'll be nothing in it.
Yeah, but it'd be an interesting video.
It would be. Yes, that's a really good video.
And we can get more people moaning how we've done it wrong.
Yeah.
We should have used humbuckers, or a phone isn't accurate, or all the other sort of comment. Anyway.
Blah, boring.
Rock on Gibbo's back. He said, evening, laddies. I wonder if I could get your thoughts on the Pro Tools versus Logic Studio One debate. Logic versus Studio One. Yeah, it's something that we love talking about, actually. Go on, I'll let James go first.
Okay. I'm going to shoot the whole thing down in flames. They're all the same. They're all a mixer, and a tape machine. They all have their quirks. They all have their features. Ableton Live is slightly different because it is very much based around loops and DJing and more.
So it's Logic now. So it's Logic now. Yeah, Logic has that element now.
Yeah, but Ableton has always been that, not just a tape machine and a mixer. It is very much down to which one you necessarily like the look of, because that has a massive drive on how you use it, what you've learned on, what you have experience on. I keep threatening to dump Pro Tools, and I still can't, because I'm just so entrenched in that workflow, and it works for me. I'm not a heavy DAW user. I'm very much, I've got my plugins, I've got my editing workflow, and I've got my tracks, and I've got, I'm not a massive user of automation or any of those sort of things. Any of the DAWs that are out there could do what I need.
Yeah.
Some sound different, some have their drawbacks. Like, for example, with Pro Tools, you're to get a decent number of tracks, you're going to end up subscribing and doing all the whole buy-in thing, which is not cheap. If you want the cheapest of all DAWs, which is Luna, because it's free, you're going to need to be running Universal Audio hardware. There are plenty of people who say DAWs sound different. I'd struggle with that other than Luna. Luna sounds different because of all the extra goodies that you've got in there to make it sound different.
Yeah, I agree.
Studio One versus Logic versus Pro Tools, you'd struggle to hear the difference, I think.
Okay, so bypassing that, I think the only thing that I'd just add to what James is saying, I've got all of them. James has probably got all of them as well, because we have to, because we get, we do videos on them and stuff. And the Pro Tools workflow is fantastic. It's a really great workflow, although Pro Tools in the past has been a little bit behind the other DAWs. So the only reason why I wouldn't recommend Pro Tools is because the buy-in, the yearly expense of the bullshit that Avid tax, yeah. So I wouldn't recommend anyone goes to Pro Tools because of that reason, unless you're a sort of a pro studio, which you have to have Pro Tools. Like when I say like a pro studio, I mean something like Abbey Road or etc. So Logic for me, I've got Logic, and I was using Logic today. It's a bit of a shit show when it comes to certain features. Great for certain things and really bad for other things. And for me, out of all of those, I Studio One would be 100%. I would say go and do that.
And it ain't that different to Pro Tools, really.
No, it's better than Pro Tools. It does more than Pro Tools. The only reason why Pro Tools is so entrenched is the fact that it's industry standard. It's not better than anything else. If anything, it's worse because it doesn't have as many features. The only thing that's great about Pro Tools is the workflow. Anyway, hope that answers the question. Mississippi Blue says, "Evening all. Quick question: do you have a preference on fretboard radius, James?"
Nah.
No. If yes, I have a preference, but I don't mind any radius. 9.5 is my preference. And but as long as it doesn't get to sort of super flat radius, I'm not really into super flat radius at all. It just feels uncomfortable. Chemical piece 10.
I couldn't tell you what any of the radii are on any of my guitars.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The only reason why I think you can get sort of the 7.25 radius is you end up sort of bending some notes and it can choke out if you bend. If you do like a tone and a half bend, it can choke out.
I'm not sure my fingers are strong enough to do that anyway. Oh
yes, you could. That sort of Steve Lukather.
Yeah. Or a Gilmore double bend.
Exactly. Gilmore does it a lot. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah. Safey's in the house. Good evening, Safey. Nice to have you along. Pet says, any experience with the Townsend Lab Sphere 22? They're throwing one in as a bundle when you purchase an Apollo rack mount. Wow, is that what they're doing now?
They are, yes.
That's great.
I have a lot of experience with it.
Yeah, I've had quite a bit of experience with them.
I did the first UK. I did the first worldwide review of it.
What do you honestly think? What's your thought about it?
Honestly, it's genius. But I will also say, honestly, I think they haven't done enough with it, because the models that are there are really, really good. You know, whether you think they sound like a U67 or doesn't matter. It's the fact is it's giving you tonal choice. It's making you say, well, I recorded this singer on this mic, but I can now change the tone of the mic. That's genius. Now, I have done comparisons with Sphere versus some particular instances of very nice, very expensive mics, and it holds up really, really well. I mean, to the point where you'd go, yeah, I know that's the C12 because the C12's got a fault on it and it's buzzing. Those sort of things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There are some really clever things you can do with it, like stereo mode or stereo 180 mode. All that sort of stuff is very, very clever. I've just sold mine though.
I personally, to me, it's snake oil. It's and I'm not saying that it's not a good deal getting that, because it is. It's a really good deal because it's a great microphone. But you know, microphone, the difference between different microphones is subtle at best. It's like, you know, it's like compressors. It's like, you know,
however, if they're throwing one in with an Apollo rack mount and you don't already own a really good mic,
yeah, absolutely fantastic. That's a great deal. I think that is a fantastic deal. But I wouldn't think, oh my god, it's a Sphere. You know, if they were bundling in a Neumann U87, I'd go, that's fantastic. It's not like I go, oh god, it's gonna be so versatile. It's just a mic.
What I think though is you will find, like I did with Sphere, you will find your favorite models and you will always use them.
Yeah.
My favorite is there's a really good U67 and a C12 model that sound amazing. And depending on if you want a kind of dark vocal 67 or a bright vocal C12, there you go. I know the team at Townsend Labs quite well. I can say this now. I beta tested for them way back in the beginning, and that product was brilliant when I first saw it. And then to where what went to market, and the team that got it to market did a cracking job, and it's a brilliant thing. I think Paul's being a little harsh with snake oil, but
well, it is, and no, because it's not. It's a good microphone. It's just it's
a good microphone without any of the models or anything like that on top. You put the models on top, you've got variations on a really good mic. That's
I think yes, but it's like I don't know. I think the audio industry is second to hi-fi industry. Put it that way, of people saying they can hear things. You know, things make, oh my god, it's a massive difference, and it's not. There's not.
Right, the thing I think with, because I use modeling mic, the Antelope modeling mics on my drums.
Yep.
On the toms, hi-hat, snare, and I will change the model depending on what I'm going for. Now, that's not to say that I know I always want a particular small diaphragm condenser, but I'll just go for what works for those particular cymbals or those particular, and I've probably got my favorites. But even if I don't put any models on at all, the mics and the drums and the cymbals still sound great. When I put the models on, it changes the tonality slightly, changes the pickup pattern slightly.
Sure. I think the pickup pattern, I think that's the clever thing. But I always think, you know, like you were talking about sort of 67s and C12s, And yes, it's a different microphone. It is a different microphone, but to me, if you get a 67 and add some air to it, some top end frequencies to it, you're going to get pretty close. And no one's going to go, oh yes, that C12 is. It's just like it's you can EQ things to how you want them. Yes, there's certain microphones you can't do that with.
When I did mix with the Masters, there was a lot of people who were showing off their stuff, and people were saying, "Oh, what was that vocal recorded with? What was that recorded with?" U87 came up all the time because the U87 is an industry standard mic.
Lovely.
But one guy said, "I got a TLM 103. That's what I've got." Everything was recorded on TLM 103: guitars, acoustics, electrics, bass cab, everything.
Yeah,
and it sounded incredible.
Yeah,
we all went. It was recorded on an Apollo and a TLM 103, and we all went, shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It doesn't matter anymore. I think it is because I used to be involved, and I think I used to be like that as well. And we both worked in the pro audio industry, but there's a lot of people saying they can hear the difference and things when actually they probably can't hear the difference, and they've spent a lot of money saying they can hear the difference.
I think when someone says, "Oh, what was the first microphone you bought?" and it was a Radio Shack something, god awful, and it was horrific, but that's what I could afford. That's what I had. What was your second mic? An SM57, or 58, one of the two. What was your third mic? Probably a C1000.
Yeah.
You then go from a 20 quid mic to a 100 quid mic to a 300 quid mic pretty quickly. The problem is when you get to between 300 and 1,000, the jump is huge. You get from 1,000 to 5,000, the jump is not that big.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you go from 5,000 to 20,000, and you can pay that for vintage mics.
Sure.
The difference is,
which
is why generally I don't use vintage mics. One, because they're super expensive, and two, they're super unreliable.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps. If they're throwing them in, grab it with both hands.
Bargain. Absolute bargain.
Yeah,
fantastic. K Michael Peters correction 10 to 16. So K Michael Peters likes a compound. Personally, I mean, I don't mind a compound radius, but I'm not a massive fan. Aaron says the new guitar is probably the best guitar I've ever played. Usually play acoustic or Strats. Don't like that so many people bought them just to sell them on. Yes, it does seem that's what's happened, but it's good. The price. I know you're not going to sell it, Aaron, but the price of your guitar is probably going up, which is fantastic. Good. That was a good buy. That was a really good buy. Distant Sun. So Matt's in the house. He says, "Evening, everyone. Evening, Matt." K Michael P. Flipping. Yes, or scalping means you're. I think probably flipping is the same sort of thing.
Normally when you do it up, though, isn't it? Normally.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Top Load is in the house. He says, still waiting on a TC Electronic SCF Gold. They've been unattainable for a while now. Sweetwater here in the USA says it'll be late November. Can't wait to score one. Yeah, you'll like that.
Which reminds me, looking at Top Load Telly's bridge.
Top Load, yeah. Looking at Top Load Telly's Top Load.
Yeah. Steve's getting me a new, but he's getting me with a compensated 3 saddle.
Great.
Yeah. Excellent. Through body.
I've got something to show you on that. Actually, Top Load's got the same as what I've got on mine. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Right.
We'll talk about compensation and stuff. Bogeyman, he said, "Even James, is the Nashville Telly work done by Steve going to be a video? Looking at doing similar work to my player Telly, ashtray bridge, rolled fretboard edges, fret poloche."
Probably not, purely because of his and my timelines right now. But we will do you've seen the before video of the Telly. I'll give it to Paul and he can go, that's better.
I think Steve will do a good job.
Yeah.
He does do a good job. Funky Bass UK says, I'm quite excited about the look of the new American Vintage 2 series. The 54p bass looks stupendously cool. Anyone else excited? The range looks superb. So we'll talk about that a bit later on. I've got that in the news, actually. All of those. Shaharbal's in the house. Hey, fellas. He said, Paul, any chance to try the latest Fractal beta update? Cliff created new algorithms that are just amazing. Cygnus 2.0. See, Shahar, you're gonna have to fill me in with this. Can you let me know? Don't worry about the comments and stuff. Maybe we need to chat because I still haven't got the beta. You know, like when they did the Andy Timmons beta, when they did the delays, the new delay, I didn't get that. So and I've clicked on my update on the XFX and it says there's no updates available. So maybe
permanently plugged into the. Is it got a network port?
Yeah, USB.
USB.
So it's USB up and then Ken says, I will let the manufacturers know about my pedal purchase based on your videos. Happy to do it. Oh, cheers, Ken. You're an absolute gent. Funky Bass, I'm using Luna, tracking and reamping guitars. Bass sound great. I'm a bit of a newbie at mixing, though, so I can't comment on that sort of things. I've got to be honest. I mean, so I started this project today in Logic, only for the fact that I wanted to get some drums. I think Logic's really good for that for their drummer.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a drummer track in there, and you can easily manipulate it and get it to a point where you can get like a decent drum track. It's not like having a proper drummer, but you can get a decent drum track down with all the different fills and builds and all that sort of stuff within 5 minutes. It's really quick to do. So I go in Logic, get that crap out, get the stuff out of there, close Logic down, and stick it in Luna. Luna is fantastic.
Luna is a tape because it's UA and because there is that heritage element to UA. Yeah. Luna is a really good tape machine and a really good mixer.
It works the same way as Pro Tools. So all of the functionality of Pro Tools, it does all of that. It's really slick. It never crashes. It's fantastic. So good. Judd says, I'm new to all this, but I have to say I love GarageBand, even if I can't work at anyone. If I can work at anyone can. Yeah, GarageBand's great. Do you know what? I think GarageBand's sometimes more useful than Logic. Jahar Bar says, I like a girthy neck. Absolutely. I like girthy neck, to be honest.
Bit of a baseball bat.
Yeah. Top Low Telly, an SM57 and a good ribbon mic go a long way to getting a great guitar recording. Yes.
And if you can't afford the ribbon mic that everyone says you need, Roya R121, go for a Roya R10 because they're a fraction of the money and sound every bit as good. I've got an R10 and it's awesome.
Oh, nice. I don't think I've ever tried an R10.
Yeah. Or say the Sontronics one that you and I have got is awesome.
The only thing for me with that's the downside about the Grossman cab is because literally the microphones are facing down to the speaker.
Yeah.
You shouldn't really have a ribbon microphone like that for too long.
It should be like, you end up with sag, don't you?
You end up with sag. So that's the only problem with the Grossman. I mean, I to be honest, I put a SM7 on it, SM7B on it, which is, I think, the best guitar recording mic, guitar speaker recording mic there is out there.
I normally have 3 in there. I've got a ribbon of some kind, a dynamic of some kind, and a condenser of some kind. So if I do want to do the whole blendy thing,
nice,
I can do. But what we're saying, the other ribbon mic to try is by a company called Shiny Box, and they are so cheap for ribbons. It's about, I think they were 250 quid, and they sound amazing on violin and acoustic guitars, but also great on the cab.
Nice. Rock on Gibbo, do you chaps do all your own maintenance on your guitars? If so, it'd be great to see a video on it. I think that's a really good idea. Basic maintenance, I do. So things like truss rod adjustments, bridge adjustments, that sort of stuff. I've never done any fret work, and I wouldn't trust myself to do any fret work. But
likewise, I'll do basic adjustments. I don't really get involved with truss rods too much. That still scares me a little bit, but I don't mind changing parts. I don't mind changing components, pickups, machine heads, anything like that. Doesn't bother me. There's probably another pickup swap video coming shortly.
I used to work in a music shop when I was 18, 19. And there was a guitar luthier there that I used to go and sit down. He used to show me how to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching him do frets one day. And one day, because he was a bit aloof, to be honest, to say the least. I won't say his name. And it's one day he didn't turn up, and he told this guy to turn up on this particular day, and he was going to do a refret or a stone down or something.
Right.
And anyway, so I said, "Oh, I'll do it," and I completely messed up his guitar. So yes, never touch frets. Never touch frets.
At this point, though.
Ah, Mr. Groom, thank you, sir. He says, "Hi, Paul. Hi, James. Great video on content. Keep them coming. All the best, Chris." Thank you, Chris. That's really kind of you, mate.
So much.
Check out the wheels on his Audi. Check out those wheels.
Nice.
Some big wheels on that.
Sorry, next one. There we go. Boom.
Island Sounds. It says, any recommendations for a multi-effects pedal that focuses purely on effects and not amp models? Yeah. TC Electronic Plethora, really good. The Line 6 HX effects.
Mm-hmm. I would go TC because I like the TC effects as opposed to the Line 6 ones, but that's just I think a traditional following of TC stuff rather than Line 6.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think the TC, the Plethora is really good. That's a really good unit. Yeah, I did a review of it. I did a review of the X3. They do an X5 and an X3.
Or the Eventide H9.
Yeah, the H9, fantastic. But if you want to get it with all the effects, you've got to get you've got to get the ultimate bundle. I mean, basically, you could buy the unit and then you buy a code if you want that unlocks all of the effects in there. I think they messed up royally with that. I think that's greedy. It's
way too complicated as well.
Yeah,
like Ferrari and being told you can only drive it at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's not on. It's like that's not on. It's just like you don't have something in there you've got to unlock. So that for that reason I wouldn't recommend them. Pet says, when I was 14, the Doors were a rite of passage. And now at 40, it's the Carpenters. Sucker for a beautiful melody. Yeah.
The Carpenters is just... I was trying to explain to a pop band the other day that the Carpenters is just... It's like the Carpenters and ABBA are perfect songwriting.
Oh, yeah. It's great songwriting.
I'll tell you a funny story briefly. We were over in Los Angeles for the NAMM show, and a friend of mine and I went to Capitol to meet up with Steve. Brain, come on. And Genoa, yes, of course. And we were waiting outside, and the assistant came and got us. We went inside and sort of sat at the back quietly, like you do. And I thought to myself, I know that bloke. And he introduced himself. So we said, "Hi, how you doing?" He said, "A pleasure, yada, yada, yada." And it was this chap was just like, they were finishing off their backups and he took the drives away, whatever. And Steve said, "You know who that was, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And my mate said, "No." I said, "That was Richard Carpenter."
Oh, wow. Awesome. He's written some tunes.
Just one or two.
Top Load Tellies, any thoughts on Studio One 6 update? Looks like they've added some cool new features. Yes, it's great. I haven't got it. Yes, I think they have added some cool features. I don't know if it's worth the update, but then Studio One never really charges. Persona's never really charged much for their update.
No, it's not fast forward, is it?
Yeah.
I think if I had to go back, I'd go back to Digital Performer because some of the functionality of DP I really, really like.
I just think it's one of those products. Though I think, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze.
That's you.
There we go. It's one of those products though that I think you just don't know. Next year they might just go, do you know what? No one's using this, so we're going to can it.
But yeah, every year or every couple of years they come up with a new version.
Yeah, it's true.
In the States, it's massive.
Is it?
Yeah, it's huge in the States.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it's not really made the jump to Europe for some reason.
Interesting. Douglas says, ever recorded a Boss Katana with third-party impulse responses? I love the flexibility of being able to alter the tone afterwards. No, it's a good idea. I don't think I've ever done that. No, I don't think I've ever done that. It sounds like a good video, Douglas. Shahar says, he says, BTW, forgot to mention, I pulled the trigger on a Les Paul standard gold top. Nice one, mate. I'm getting older, almost 50, and decided life is too short. Eagerly looking out the windows for a delivery guy. Oh, mate, let us know when it arrives.
That'll be yummy.
I like it. See, that's what I love. I love doing, and I always do it. Actually, I didn't do it for the Strat video, but I always do like the unboxing video. People tend to like guitar unboxing videos. Rock on Gibbo, when recording guitar direct into my interface using a DI box, there's a lot of noise. I'm thinking it's a power issue. Any thoughts? That's weird. Grounding issue, maybe.
Could be. Yeah, could be. Try the ground lift on the DI box.
If you haven't got a ground lift on your DI box, possibly wonder.
You will have.
Yeah, I would have thought you would have. Yeah. Try that, mate. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Are you using lots of gain, maybe?
If you're recording your guitar directly into your interface, does your interface not have a high impedance input for guitars?
Yeah,
like an Apollo or something like that has got an instrument input, therefore no need for a DI box.
Let's know what. Yeah, let's know what interface you're using. Rock on Gibbo. Hollywood Actress says, just coming to say hi. By the way, for truss rod adjustment, it's very straightforward. Just small 1/8 to quarter turns, then check relief. I completely agree. Yeah, it's not a hard thing. I always do James's when I go around there and always tweak his guitars. Shahar says, looking for Karen Carpenter drumming on YouTube. She was a beast on the kit. There you go.
There is a very funny video of them doing Struck Up the Band. And she's doing this thing. And it's then you think, hang on, her hands don't match the drumming. And you realise it's Hal Blaine in the back who's actually playing most of the drum.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Where are we?
We're there.
With her. Mendel Rocks. The H9 is now only available as a fully loaded Max version. Oh, that's good to know. You can use your license across multiple units, but I've not seen any secondhand for a good price. Good to know. That's really good to know. Avjit says, best budget guitar processor for live gigs. Which one do you recommend? Boss GX100.
Every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
Or, if I'm honest, I've now started tweaking the oh god, what's it called? The 11 board.
Mate, that thing's like Satan's ball bags. You can.
No,
serious? I think you're getting rid of that.
I was thinking about getting rid of it, and I still am thinking about getting rid of it. But I've got some really good noises out of it.
Have you?
You liked the noise we had for the Steve Vai track for the
yeah, I did like that. That was you did get a good noise out of that actually.
Yeah.
The only thing that I didn't like about it, do you remember when you brought it over first of all, we really struggled with it.
Yeah.
And when I did that video, I found all those sort of aliasing noises on it.
Yeah.
That but no, that tone you got on the Steve Stevens thing, that was awesome tone.
Yes. So I'm just really worried that my 11 rack's going to die.
Right.
And short of trying to find another 11 rack, and they are out there, they're all getting on a bit now.
Are they not still sort of brand new lying
No.
around? They
No.
made so many of them, didn't they?
Yeah, clearly not enough.
Right. Flashback. Guys, just got an invitation email from Fractal for the FM9 Turbo. Should I make the leap and sell my Kemper rack? Don't play live, just record. I mean, I would personally.
FM9, everyone is saying is awesome.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I would, but it depends. You know, if you love the Kemper's great. If it was me, I think I'd have that little thing, you know, that little person sitting on my shoulder saying, "Oh, that's going to be better. It's going to be." And it is, you know, the effects, the effects in the Fractal stuff is fantastic. I would, but I'm hesitant to try and get someone to spend a lot of money. But I think, look, the thing about the Kemper is at some point they will update it, and the Kemper is so old now that the old units I think are just going to dive bomb in price. So maybe it's a good time to think about that.
Yeah.
Bruce says, Paul, I'm waiting for bucket of earwax. Can't wait to become megastar and I get rich. I'll send it over. I'm trying to get enough of it together to make it worthwhile the postage, Bruce. Don't worry, there's a comment. Don't worry. There's a comment that Bruce made. Oh, that's a nice guitar, Steve. Like that. Steve said, I've got a new single out on Spotify. I use the Katana Mark II to record the guitar. Thanks for all the tips over the years. Can't thank you enough. Oh, nice one, Steve. Awesome. Yeah, let us know. Send us a link. Let us know what the single's called. We'll have a listen. Hollywood Actress says, by the way, 51 people watching. Hit the thumbs up button, everyone. Thank you, Hollywood. Yeah, it really does help, guys. Hit the like button. It really does help us.
Please.
Don't make us beg. How hot should signal be when recording acoustic guitar with a mic? I'm struggling to find a happy medium. We're getting a good signal and there being too much noise, hissing, using a Samson CO1. That might be your issue, but I would say I'd say -12.
Yeah, -18 to -12. That gives you a good. And in modern day, even at 44.1, 16-bit, that's plenty.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that's more important. I would always go 24-bit. I'm not even sure that you can do 16-bit anymore, can you?
I don't think you can on most.
The hissing could possibly be your little Samson condenser mic there, Douglas. Could you borrow another microphone? I'd say borrow another mic and just see if that makes a difference, and then possibly time to move that on. They're good little. It's a good little mic, but maybe.
Very
yeah.
At this point.
Oh, thank you, sir. Cheers, Pet. He said, Pet says, I was set on another Ox, but you've thrown a spanner in the works by what you said about the Wazza and the match list. What to do? Pet, if you want another Ox, give me a shout. I might have one. But the Wazza is great. It's such a great thing. But the Ox is great. But for me, the Wazza is better. Hollywood Actress says, this talk on the 11 rack, are they really good? I've been thinking of them recently. Worth getting just for home playing and recording, or go for modern, like a new Nux 30 or Line 6 pod go for 250-ish. What would you say, Joe? You really like the 11, don't you?
I love it because it's not every single effect in history, but it is a select number of the ones that you actually need.
It's good, and it feels really good, doesn't it? It feels good to play through.
In it, there is some. There has to be some. It's digital, but they've got the feel so right. Just the guitar input section alone is worth the price of a mittens.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good. It's one of the best things they ever did.
Oh, I would personally say it's the best unit Avid ever put. It's the best single solution Avid ever put out.
It is great, isn't it?
There's so much of it now that doesn't work anymore. I mean, like the interface functionality is a bit shaky now because it hasn't been supported in a bazillion years. But as a guitar effects processor, it's awesome.
Yeah. It is really good. Chris says, I love my Katana 50 bits. A sad state of affairs when years down the line you realise you want an effects loop. 100 watt 2x12, here I come. Your videos have been essential for my use of it. Many thanks. Oh, that's great, Chris.
That 100 watt 2x12 is an awesome amp.
Yeah, you've got one of them. It is really good, James. You made the right purchase there.
It's a beast. It's a heavy thing, but I've used it for so many things where I go, oh, I just need I need some. I'll put a delay on that rather than it isn't every effect, but it's the right number of effects.
Yeah, and it sounds good. It does.
And they're good.
Hey, should I do the new guitar?
And we've got 3 more to go before we get to the box.
Okay.
So let's do that.
Aaron says, I sold the Quad Cortex. I've got a Kemper and Power Cab, and it's the best sound I've had in ages. Sometimes it's good to go with the tried and tested gear, even if it's old. That's very true. Absolutely. Shahar says, do either of you use guitar string butter like fingeries or fast fret? Definitely not.
I've tried fast fret. In fact, I've got a fast fret runner somewhere, mainly, but I use it for cleaning up rather than before playing, if that makes sense.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It just I don't like the feel of it. Like someone sort of scraping their fingers down a chalkboard.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's like the feel of it under your fingers feels a bit like that. Oh, it makes me hate it. Stephen Whitney says, I've been debating on getting the GX100 for what it is and for the money. I feel like Line 6 is always talked about, but not Boss. What is your guitar's opinion on Line 6 versus Boss?
Boss every day of the week.
Yeah. And honestly, the GX100 is really good. I've got I've had a Helix in the past. I had a Helix rack when it first came out, and I had a Helix Stomp, the little Stomp, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I got rid of both of them, to be honest. Honestly, the Boss GX100 for me is the one to go for, even over the GT1000, because I think the GX100 is brilliant, and it's really simple to use. Got touch screen, absolute killer.
Cool. Show us the new toy then.
Right. Oh, okay. So, what should do? Here comes the top.
It's a telly. Is that gold hardware?
It's got gold hardware on it. Which for me, I know. That's for me. That's the thing that I would go, But it's got an ebony fingerboard, which is unusual.
Nice.
I'm going to show you the back first.
Oh,
it's gold. It's gold.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that one.
Haven't you got a thin line telly?
It's not about, yes, I've got a thin line telly, but it's not the fact it's a thin line. It's the fact that
look at those pickups.
It's got a TB Jones, so it's got like a Filtertron. It's Filtertron in the bridge, and it's got a Lola gold foil in the neck. So it's very unique sounding. And it rings like a bell.
Is it?
Huh? What's that? It's a Ron Thorne Masterbuilt Telecast R.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it rings like a bell, and it's different. It's more like a Gretsch.
Yeah, it's like kind of that sort of hollow Gretsch sort of sound.
Yeah, because of the ebony fingerboard and the Filtertron, the power. Nice. It's got in it. Yeah, it's really good actually. I used it today for the recording, and really good. Really pleased with that. I've got it second hand, which I like a bit of a second handy.
Yeah. Here we. And before anyone goes, are you buying a lot of guitars? What did you sell to fund that?
So I bought 2 guitars recently, which I know sounds a bit excessive. So I sold my Silver Sky, my Piro Silver Sky, to get the Strat, and I sold my Jason Smith Masterbuilt Strat to get the telly.
So would you say that obviously you sold the red, you sold Iron Man.
Yep.
But and even though that's a master built, you'd say that custom shop that you bought is a better guitar.
But this one, the new one,
Yeah.
For me, it's more suitable for me. Yeah, the neck on Iron Man, it was great. It was great, but the thing is, when I picked up the pink paisley one, it's just it plays. It's just that is a guitar that I'd always pick up over the red one.
Right.
So there's no point in me having
a guitar you won't pick up.
Yeah, so got rid of that. Got the lightest Strat in the world.
Yeah.
And that is fantastic. It's such a great guitar. And I actually prefer it. I do prefer it. I think I really like the pickups on Iron Man. They were really good. If I could get those, but I'm not gonna be able to get them because they're master built only. You can't buy them off the shelf. But that's a minimal thing for me. You can always change pickup.
Let's do the news.
Let's do the news. The news. Present. Share screen. There's lots of news this week.
Lots of news.
Should we start here?
Yes.
So, was it about a year ago? PRS released the H. It was called the. What was it called? The basically they couldn't call it the name that it was originally because Line 6 threatened to sue them.
Right.
Because it was the same. I can't remember what the lettering was on. Anyway, basically, yeah. Paul Reed Smith about a year ago came out with the 100 version, the 100 watt version of this amp. Okay, it's basically they got hold of Jimi Hendrix's amp from what was the big concert, James? The big Woodstock, the Woodstock amp. Opened it up and they copied it exactly and made it into the 100 watt amp. So now this is a 20 watt version of that amp, which I think is brilliant. I think that's a really good move. So how much do you think this is, James?
I reckon that's $5,000.
I think it's about 800 quid.
Wow, is that all?
Yeah. I'm sure it's about maybe it's 899, but I think it's 800 quid.
Euro price, because obviously this is.
Yeah. But in Andertons, I'm sure it's about £800, something like that. So it's basically, not a lot more than the amp that you've got.
Yeah.
Which I think PRS have knocked it out of the park, I think.
Great work.
And talking to PRS.
That's pretty, isn't it?
So yeah, have you seen the videos on this?
No.
So this is the new PRS Robin Ford.
I do like Robin Ford.
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite a coup, I think, to get Robin Ford as an endorsee and to have his own guitar made by PRS. I think again knocked it out of the park. I thought it sounds quite unusual. I wouldn't buy it. Every demo that I've heard of it, it's got like a sound about it that I wouldn't use, but it sounds fantastic.
It's quite jazzy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just very throaty for me. It's just, but anyway, it's great, and obviously Robin Ford is amazing, and he knows what he's doing. So if he's found something he likes, it must be good. But it's bigger headstock than the normal PRS.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
How much is it? It's five of your finest £1,000. Gosh, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Okay, where are we? Fender American Vintage. We had a comment on this earlier.
Yeah.
So I had Larry phone me up, Greg North, Larry North, sorry, Greg Farrar. He phoned me up and said, "Oh, I said, have you seen they brought out a 57 Strat just like your one? Do you think it's bad? Do you think you made a bad choice buying that?" And I said, "Well, how much are these?" And these are quite expensive. They're about 1,900 quid for an American Strat, and I think that's quite a lot for a non-custom shop guitar. Yeah, no, actually, between euros 299
Yeah.
and 2319.
Although
You could buy a
that-
second-hand custom shop for that.
That seafoam green one does look awesome. It's not seafoam green, whatever that kind of.
I think that is seafoam green. Oh
Is
no,
it?
maybe it's not. Maybe it's Sonic Blue.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah. I think they're nice.
And a proper traditional butterscotch telly looks awesome.
Yeah, and look. Have you seen your?
My Mexican, yeah.
Yeah, same as that, isn't it? Yeah, nice, really nice. Gibson have done a special, not cheap, 3.5.
Of course not.
For Hummingbird, 2.5 for J35 and 2.5 for J45.
Nice guitars though.
Yeah, nice. I'd really like one of them.
Of acoustic guitars,
Mhm.
who rocked up in my hometown this week to randomly turn up and do an acoustic gig, a busking gig on the town hall steps?
I'm trying to think of local residents to you. Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because being a Suffolk lad originally, being from Framlingham, the castle on the hill location, he turned up randomly, walked into a local music shop, bought a guitar and an amp, and went out busking on the town hall steps. Not busking with a hat, because obviously he's not short of a bob or two.
He's very rich, isn't he?
But,
Nice.
Yeah, hometown gig.
Nice. Oh, fantastic. Good on him. He's a very talented boy. I don't know what's going on here. No. Stop it.
No. The balance is wrong between those 2 points.
I don't know what's going on.
You know me. I'm a sucker for an Explorer, but that's wrong.
No, that's a no.
Is it an 8-string? It's only 6, isn't it?
It's a 6. Yeah, it's a 6. It looks better on.
Yeah, it looks very strange.
Yeah, I'm not keen.
Because they're not.
Yeah, apart from Kurt Winstein of Crowbar and down.
How much is it? It's still $450.
$1,200.
$12. Oh, it's $1,200.
$11.50. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. So another sort of major pedal brand is bringing out sort of budget pedals, which I think is really good. You know, like JHS ones.
Yeah.
So Catlin Bred, fuzz, distortion, and overdrive. One knob. Nice. I think that's a good move. I think. So I don't know what happens if it's just drive, or if there's other things that happen when you turn the drive up and it brings in some different EQ.
$150 each. That's not bad, is it?
No, I think that's good. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Oh, that's lovely.
Do you like that?
But only because I'm a AC/DC super fan.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason why I am. I think if I wasn't an AC/DC fan, I think I'd be like, that's a bit of a wrong one. I think it's just that middle pickup. It's just not needed.
It looks a bit shunted forwards, and if it was all back a bit, it would kind of be better balanced. But
it would actually be better balanced.
Malcolm Young is probably the ultimate rhythm guitarist.
Yeah, he's so good. Yeah, I don't get it, because like Malcolm Young, he would never use those two pickups.
No, it's all about
the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused, because didn't Malcolm Young take out those two pickups as well?
I can't remember.
I'm sure he did. But how much is it? So in Great British pounds, it's 3,179.
It's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot of dollars.
That is quite literally a one-trick pony.
Yeah, it's cool though. If you're a big AC/DC fan.
Yeah.
Joe Bonamassa's done another Joe Bonamassa, endorse another guitar. So we've got an Epiphone
with
I
a
don't know. With a vibrola on it. Looks all right. 1,300 quid for an Epiphone. Because he's got to take his cut, people. He's run out of flip-flops to sell.
Get fed, yeah. He's run out of flip-flops and what are they called? What are they called? The ones the big heads that do that.
Oh, bobbleheads.
Bobbleheads.
Was he selling them as well?
Yeah.
Honestly, the man will sell anything.
On a bobblehead.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Joe Bonamassa is one of the best guitar players out there. But
his marketing team need to sort it out. Need to rein it in a little bit.
It's just, for me, I mean, I understand. I understand. The music industry is not what it used to be, and
he's a brand and he has brand kudos, but he needs to be careful that he doesn't destroy his brand by bringing it a little thinly.
Hey, mate, he did that when he was selling flip-flops. You can't. That's destroyed as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, yes. So I did the video on this one for the release. This came out really impressive, actually. Really good. I really like the custom mode, the new mode, the switch when you switch over to the C. Really good. And quite reasonable for a Wazacraft pedal, because they're normally over £200, and they're about 120 for the Discman W, which I think is quite reasonable. Made in Japan.
Big in Japan.
Big in Japan. Nancy Wilson's selling off her Barracuda SG.
That's
That's the one. It's a bit of a funny old beast, that, isn't it?
I kind of like it.
Do you? I don't like. God, is that a PRS?
Is it? I like the strap.
Yeah, it's a PRS 12-string prototype. That's not a looker. Look at that headstock. Jeez. That Strat's nice, isn't it? 57 Strat. That's really nice. Shame about the pickup, but oh my word, what's that thing? Yeah, no, that's a bit weird. Oh, that's the 80s era, isn't it? All the when they were doing all the 80s stuff. Oh, that's quite good, isn't it? Look at that.
Oh, I like that.
It's a TV Jones Spectrasonic.
Wow.
That's quite cool. Like that. And what's this? Last of all, yeah. So Gibson have launched their own pickup shop. So as before, like before, you couldn't buy things like custom buckers, and now you can. It sort of makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
It's a shame PRS don't do it. They don't release so you can't buy their 8515s because they're great pickups.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. Check them out. Out.
Cool.
There we go.
Well done.
Thank you.
Some good toys in there for anyone who is in the market for some toys.
Yeah. Hold on. We've got some.
Oh, I've been deleting it. Oh, I had
deleted. Block user. Let me block the user. Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Where we were there. Go.
Paul McKen Fitness and Nutrition. Hi, gents. Been a subscriber for months now, and I love your stuff. I'm a guitar beginner, and I'm getting my new Epiphone 335 tomorrow. Can't wait. I just wondered if you consider doing a Red Special review. Funny, James keeps thinking about buying a Red Special, didn't you?
Yes.
You should get one.
I will do when I'm financially flush again. For any of you who know and what's going on right now, I am quite frankly sinking all my hard-earned cash into the studio at the moment. So it's on my list. I do want one. I'd love to do a comparison between the 3 different eras of Red Special, like the Guild, the Burns, and the new Brian May Guitars one. But it's getting hold of them. I think down a couple.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to. I've never tried one. Never played one.
They're quite, they're quite a beast for what you can do on them, and let's face it, you can't help but sound like his Royal Manus.
His Royal Manus, nice.
But yeah, it's on my list.
Good tip. George Lanza says XLR8 by Didario, way better than the Butters. Oh, there we go. Stephen Whitney says, can you do an ambient patch for the GX100 for a video? There's an ambient patch. Didn't I do a preset pack? There's an ambient patch in there.
Yes.
I'm sure there is. Available on the Studio Rats website. Shahar says, Paul, are you going to model your match list with the new IK Multimedia Tonex? You have to, as far as I know, you have to buy the extra unit to go and do some modeling. I mean, I'd need to get hold of. I don't really want to go and buy the stuff.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't mind sort of doing a review of it.
We do enough buying of stuff with our own money for.
Yeah, because I'd only be buying stuff. I don't mind buying stuff if one, it's going to be really worth. If the videos would make up the views would make up the price of what you're buying, which is quite rare. Yeah, or it's really useful to me. I don't think it would be useful to me, but I'd really like to try it. But yes, if they can lend me one, I would definitely do the match list. Metal Rocks, any experience with tips for humbucker size filtertrons? Humbucker size filtertrons. Just started looking at Lolatrons and Seymour Duncans. I didn't even know you could get humbucker size filtertrons. I really like filtertrons. On my my Gretsch, I've got TV Jones ones, and on the on that new telly, it's obviously got the Powertron on it. Yeah, I think they sound really good. They're sort of in between a single coil and humbucker, but they're so much brighter than a humbucker. You can do really nice, that sort of clean on the verge of breakup sort of stuff.
Ching.
Funky Bass, that guitar looks amazing. We'd love to hear the pickup. So I've shot some of the parts of the video. I might try and get it finished tomorrow if I can. Nice telly, Paul. Cheers, Mendel. Chris says, I was in said guitar shop in Ipswich yesterday. They said he stayed there they stayed there in the shop for an hour just chatting. Top man. Yeah, he's a good bloke, isn't he?
Very nice chap.
Brent says, I think he took them out even. He took
the pickups.
The ones? Oh, yes. Probably yes. Did you know that Cleopatra was closer to owning an iPhone than her seeing the pyramids being built? What's that? Did you know that Cleopatra was closer to owning an iPhone than her seeing the pyramids being built? I didn't know that. Well, there we go.
The timeline. Because of the way time works, if everyone assumes Cleopatra was around when the pyramids. Not so.
Oh, interesting. There we go. What's that?
I don't think she actually owned an iPhone.
Ah. Thanks for answering my Kemper FM9 question. Just order the FM9. Oh, mate, you won't, honestly, if you can afford it, you won't regret it. The fractal stuff is mind-blowing. It's really good.
Please never buy stuff just on our say-so.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel terrible running up somebody else's credit card bill.
Yeah. Quite
good enough at doing that myself.
I would never advise someone buying something if I didn't 100% believe in it. Gents, thanks for your advice on the guitar last week. Went for an American player telly in the end rather than the JV mod. By the way, Paul skill and tone, this is by me, just outstanding. Cheers, Tabster. Very kind of you. Thank you. Ryan says, favorite electric guitar strings?
Didario New Yorkers.
I really like the NYXLs.
That's the ones I think.
Yeah, do you know what? I really like them. I do. I really like those strings.
Ages.
And honestly, I put them on that Gibson 335 that I had.
Uh-huh.
And although I didn't play the guitar that much, a year later those strings were still on it.
Mm.
Yeah, which is unheard of for me. Mendel rocks, Tonex hardware not needed. You already have a reamp box. Oh, interesting. Oh, then that's great. Then yes, I will definitely do that. Shahar says, yes, just use your existing interface. Thanks, mate. Fantastic. That's I didn't realize that. Well, thanks for letting us know. Oh, you guys might know, Mendel and Shahar. Can you use, because the original idea was that someone said before it came out, someone said that you're going to be able to load Kemper profiles on it. Can you do that?
If you can, it's quite a coup.
That's mega. If you can do that, because I've got so many Kemper profiles. Where are we? Flashback. Paul, one last question. What do you think of the Evertune bridge? I think it's a really good idea. I think it's a bit of a tone suck. That's my only thing. I think if you're playing high gain stuff, which is what it's designed to do, I don't think it matters. But if you're not playing high gain stuff, I think it's a bit of a tone suck. Mendel said, never heard that. Never heard. Where were we?
Kemper profiles.
I don't think so. I believe Kemper stuff is proprietary. There we go.
There you go. We're at the end of the list.
Well, I mean, an early night. I could do with an early night.
I've got to go to I've got a dental appointment tomorrow morning that I'm not looking forward to.
What big one?
I'm going to see. Now I have to get this right. I'm going to see a paleodontist. No, not paleodontist.
Isn't that what someone deals? Isn't that a dinosaur's dentist?
A paleontologist. Yeah, I keep calling it a paleontologist, and I'm wrong. It's a paleodontist, and it's something to do with gums and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like a hole in the head, which is ironic because that's how they get to your gums.
Oof, nasty. We don't like
that. Last couple just to get us there.
Thank you, says Flashback. Evening, Paul and James watching from Monmouth tonight.
Just in time for us to sign off.
Oh, sorry, Duncan. I have to start from the beginning. Oh, right. Hold on. Before anyone goes, please. We did a video recently on the competition that we're doing for the in-ear monitoring set, and the video, I can't believe it, but the video didn't do that well. And I thought I'd loads of people be into it because it's a freebie. There is nothing. We're not getting anything out of this. This is just out of the goodness of Sennheiser's and Gear for Music's hearts that they've given us this unit to give away. And if you haven't signed up already, please sign up because you've got quite a high chance of winning. So the details are on the website. If you want to go on the website, fill the form in. It's literally just a couple of tick boxes and you have to say why you want it. And that's it.
We're not going to make you work too hard.
No. It's really easy, and there's no sort of scam out of this. It's not like people are trying to collect your information. That's not what's happening at all. It's just we've got something to give away and we're giving it away.
Yeah. So head over to thestudiorats.net and you can find out all the details there.
Yes.
Shahar's gone.
He said, James, at what point will you start hocking the gear behind you to pay for the new studio? That's true.
The irony, of course, is that a lot of this gear was bought to go straight back on eBay at the last auctions. So it will be fairly soon, actually, Shahar.
Cowbell says, great in-ear unit, just bought a month ago. Oh, mate. Well done. You can't beat in-ears. A decent set of in-ears.
The way forward. It's the way forward. So really hope you enjoyed tonight, everyone. We will see you again next week with more of the same. But for now, have a good week. Take care, everyone. And we will see you again very, very soon.
Cheers, guys.